Welcome to the Python tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to declare the classes and how to use the classes and objects. So here I just opened a Python script and now I'm going to show you the syntax of class, or we can say how to write the classes. So here I just write CLASS class. So the class is a keyword. So when we declare a function we use def. So the def is a keyword. So same here we have a class which is a class keyword, and after the keyword I just write the name of the class which is student. So the student is a name of the class. So generally the name of the class is started from the capital letter. So here I just write S in a capital. After that we just put a colon to get inside the class. So this is the way to declare a class. As we already know that inside a class we write attributes and methods, which means that we write some ingredients and the methods which is used to bake the cake. So in Python we cannot declare a variable, we have to write the variable inside a special method, that is init method. The init method is used to initialize a variable instantly. So now I'm going to initialize a init method. We can call it constructor also. So here I'm going to define a function which is init with double underscore. After that I'll put self, and after that I'll put colon to get inside the init method. So here I use self dot name which is equal to Alex. So here we just create a variable which is the name of the student. So now I'm going to create a object which is used to call this all the methods. So now I'm going to create a object which is associated with the class student. So here I just write s1. After that I'll put equal to, and after the equal to I just write the name of the class which is student. So here you can see the s1 is the object of this student class. So whatever we write inside the class, it just goes to the s1. So now here we just create a object s1, and now I'm going to print the name of this student which is Alex by using print function print s1 dot name. So now I'm going to run this module. So here we get the result which is Alex. So now I'm going to explain you what is a self here. So self is a parameter, or we can say keyword, that represent the class itself. So here I'm going to explain you with another object, control C, command B. So here we can see we have two object which is s1 and s2. So now I'm going to run this module again. So here we get the result Alex and Alex two times. So when we initialize a variable which is name with self, which means that it will work with the current object. So when this object is used, then s1 is worked for that, and when this object used, then it will work for the s2. So now I'm going to change this something like that, which is s1, and inside the self I'm going to pass s1 here. Here when we run this module, we get the result self is not defined. Sorry, here we have to write s1. So here we get the result which is Alex. So here when we create a single object, so the object is passes inside the method when we use a single object. When we use a different object, which means that when we have more than one object for a single class, then we have to use a self keyword to reference the current object. So self is used to represent the current object. So as we know that every class have some action which is equal to method. So now I'm going to create a method here. So I just simply copy this. After that I'll put def, and now I'm going to call the name the method which is walk. So every students have some action which is equal to walk, which means that every student can walk, run, etc. And inside the here I just write self here also. So here we just create a method inside a class, and now I'm going to print something which is my name is Alex. So now I'm going to call the method by using the object s1 dot walk. So now I'm going to run this module. We get the result which is equal to print is not defined. Sorry, I'll explain. Here we get the result which is equal to my name is Alex. So this is the way to create a method inside a class, and this is the way to call this method using the object. And now I'm going to write here my name is self dot name. So this self dot name is a class variable, which means that we can use this self dot name anywhere inside this class. So now I'm going to run this module. We get the result my name is Alex. So this Alex is a self dot name. So now let's move with some other things, which is self name and class. Sorry, classes. I'm going to copy this self dot name. After that I'll put 3 times, which is self dot classes and self dot name, and here I just write classes and name. So when we pass a name here and when we pass a class here, it will refer to this self dot classes and the self dot name. So now I'm going to write here name, which is xyz, and class, which is 12. So now when we run this module, we don't get any error. And now I'm going to change this by using self dot names. Sorry, we have to change this self names self dot names. So when we run this module, we get the result which is name is not defined. So names here. So here we get the result which is my name is xyz. So xyz, which is equal to the self dot names, and here I just print the classes. Now when we run this module, we get the result my name is xyz, Alex, and the 12. So here we can see when we passes a variable inside a class, then the constructor is instantly passed to this self.name and the self.classes itself. So this init method, or we can say constructor, is used to initialize a data inside our class. So this all the variables are used anywhere inside this class, which means that these are class variable, not a instance variable. So now let's change something here. I'm going to create another object which is equal to s2 s2.walk, and here I'm going to pass something which is yxz, and here I just write 18. So here we have a two different object, and inside the object we have four different values, which is xyz, 12, yxz, and 18. So when we run this module, this first object is passes to this initializer, which is names and classes by xyz and 12, and then it will print the value which is xyz and 12. And when we deal with second object, then yxz is passes to these names, and this 18 is passes to these classes. So self is used to initialize, or we can say assign the object itself, and now we get the result which is equal to, so here we get the result lx xyz and the yxz. So we get the result different from the previous one because the two objects are used in two manners because of the self. So when we use a first object, the self is referred to that, and when we use a second object, then self is referred to this second object, which is equal to s2. So this is the way to use a self, and this is the way to create a class, object, and the method. So that's all about the classes and object in Python.